Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the, I missed the first and second rounds, but I am here for the third and fourth rounds here in the ARC GT3 Challenge Championship. I think it's Challenge. I forget. Basically the same thing. And rounds 3 and 4 are coming to us from Sportsland SUGO. Basically Japanese Laguna Seca, but nowhere near as iconic, but track length, track layout style, and the basic setup ideas that you would want to apply to Laguna Seca kind of apply here for the most part. Courtesy of some, I say health concerns. I just had to go to the bathroom. The stream started a decent ways into qualifying here. As you see DIVEBOMB in the Lamborghini Huracan get very squirrely out of what I guess might be turn, like, 6? This game says there are 9 turns here, but they're, like, very clear, like, 12. I don't really know what they were on. DIVEBOMB is taking loose as fast to the absolute, like, logical extreme here in this Huracan. This thing's looking more like a V8 supercar, the way that he's wrestling this thing through the turns, but it's probably going to be fast as we're about to come up to the line and see. Not quite. Let's see here. It seems 19s are the sort of target time here. AJ Unleaded. AJ Kaneko won both the first 2 rounds of the season at Dubai, a race which, while was not broadcasted, still made its way onto the social media airwaves because of 2 very close battles for position that pretty much lasted the whole race, to my understanding. Can only hope to see even half of that excitement here at SUGO today. I definitely like the most about the Project Cars series is that there aren't very many names that I don't already know, so I don't have to go through this whole rigmarole of who's this, how do I say that name, blah 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 blah. I know just about everybody here. Yeah, like basically everyone. No time for the track guide I usually do, and I don't really think anybody cares, even if I did do them. Because, I mean, most people that are watching the stream are probably already aware of how this track works, or probably listening to it while they run the race. Some of them are. I'll give like an in-depth overview of the starting grid and the vehicles that each driver and team are running. And, you know, when, as the needs arise, as it were. And Torres in the pit lane, so he won't be contesting for pole, apparently. AJ better hope that he is on his lap, because he's not going to get around in time. It seems like he must be, or you've just gone to the pits by now. So, AJ Kaneko's final lap in this session will be not an improvement, at the very least. Who's around next? Nope, you're done. You're done. Oh, his teammate, Matthew Daly, in the other SLP Mercedes. Let's see if he can improve his current lap time. In all my years in commentating ARC, this is an interesting combo because Matthew Daly here is the brother of Derek Daly in the McLaren, as DIVEBOMB already had pole, but he just ups the NT to a 19.18. But Fabian improves, but not enough to go over Jan Torres on the starting grid. You're finished. Donald Stern just finished. I didn't see what his lap time changed to. Derek is finished, so once Gabe Gazzola crosses the start-finish, that should be the end of the session. I didn't actually, I looked away like an idiot when he crossed, so I don't know if he gained or, you know, not. Gained or not, yeah. English, very good. Jeez. Okay, now the session is done. I don't know who I was waiting for. For some reason, there goes Hunter Smith driving by the pit lane, despite the fact the session is done. So DIVEBOMB takes pole, and it's barely even a contest, really. Huh. Oh, that looks so weird the way it was zoomed in there. Much like the other more recent series like supercars and touring cars, we have the sprint round and the main event round. This is 8 laps. We only assume the main event is like 24, probably. It's roughly the scale we used before. The attempt to read through, we have DIVEBOMB, who's not at all on this starting little sheet that I am looking at. I think it's DIVEBOMB in the Champ. Of course, it's Champ Racing record. That's his team. 69 Lamborghini, funny number. Jan Torres in a Bentley for HRT. Fidel Fabian in a Mercedes for JSR. AJ Knickel in, of course, SLP Team 44 Mercedes. Connor Hannock starting 5th on the grid with the LA7 Ferrari. Jake Scarborough, Fidel's teammate on his own team. I don't have time for that. It's a pretty solid start from Fidel Fabian. He's going to get well ahead of Jan Torres before we even reach the first turn. But DIVEBOMB is going to very easily clear the field into one. As pretty much everybody's already more or less single file, it looks like, with some unusual exceptions. I'm seeing Donald Stern kind of being caught up in the crossfire. Gabe Gazzola and Jake Scarborough, who Scarborough seems to have had an absolutely terrible start, and around is Derek Daly and Billy Targi. No, that's his teammate Carter Ritchie. And Hunter Smith had an even worse start, so there's our first spin of the race. Carter Ritchie finds some dirt. And Acuras don't tend to like that. This camera is just not looking at anything. Where is Donald Stern going? You haven't started the WRC Championship yet, buddy. He is really doing some ARX right now. Oh my word. As Donald Stern attempts to find the lost city of El Dorado or something. There's no. Everyone's pretty equidistant at this moment. There's no real battle going on that I can tell. God, the Huracans are so loud. Oh, lockup from Jamie Wright as he kind of follows Hannock's line, probably subconsciously. It's given Matthew Daly. Matty's literally in his username, Riker. Come on. Amateur hour. As Hunter Smith pits, he must have taken damage on whatever put him at the very back on the start. And as Connor Hannock does some exploring, it's hard to see all the shade through here. So it's kind of difficult to tell where the road ends and the grass begins. Matthew Daly just landed a crossover on Jamie Wright, and he's going to try and take that back. Daly defends, Jamie takes the lane anyway. Specifically the inside one. A bit sketchy under brakes. Almost contact, but they just avoid it. Matthew Daly with the not-so-calculated move into a corner that's not really a braking zone, and that was nearly a catastrophe. And Gabe Gazzola is also in this group. Jake Scarborough, we have a 4-car train being headed by Jamie Wright at the moment. Daly with a huge exit from the last turn. Are we going to follow the cars this time, trackside camera, or are we going to have to be stupid again? Jamie shoots on the outside. They're still door-to-door heading into 2. And eventually Daly is able to, take the spot back. My brain stopped for a second there. 2 Mercedes battling up ahead. I can probably turn my tablet off for the moment. I can't really look at the standing sheet. I have to write that information down in between rounds, or something. As Donald Stern does some more exploring, I really don't entirely pretend to understand. He's running a different racetrack right now, I think. I can't even begin to comprehend. That dude is vibing over at Fuji right now, or something or other. The Thomas the Tank Engine train is spread out a bit. Jake Scarborough has lost said train. Assuming it's the same rules from last GT3 season, it should be top 8 gets switched around, so 8th in this race will start on pole in the main event. A little weird particle effect sometimes when I switch cars. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Probably best not to question it, to be honest. Yeah, that. Venus Nerp is all over the back of that Bentley there, of Jean Torres. But the Bentley's got a bit of a straight line advantage. But the Renault's going to have a cornering advantage, so I guess it evens out, especially when Torres has missed an apex. Doesn't help his case. But Venus Nerp doesn't get the exit he needs to take advantage, so we remain all squares through Sector 2. Dylan Baum is leading, but he's not exactly increasing the lead like I suspected he'd be doing. AJ Knickel is basically keeping pace. Van Dusendorp sees the opportunity now, and he's alongside the Bentley, heading into turn 1. As we've passed the halfway mark of this event, Van Dusendorp gets a little too greedy, and Jen Torres is able to take P4 back following that braking error. The interval was having a fantastic time over there. Right out of touch. Suddenly AJ Knickel is getting ever closer to that Lambo. I think it's hard to understand. I always broadcast at 6 our time. Always 6. And somehow Mom routinely forgets what 6 o'clock is. Well, this might just be it heading into turn 1, if AJ can get a good run out of this last corner. A little bit of slipstream assistance for good measure. Not doing too much, though, to my surprise. AJ's gonna try the outside at 1. And he just kind of muscled onto the curb, and he's just powerless through there. Yeah, excuse me. AJ I just saw the gap be like Oh, and he has forced DIVEBOMB into an error. The pressure has gotten to the Lambo driver, and he has thrown away the lead and, well, subsequently the win, because now he has to wait for several seconds to make a sketchy rejoin. Luckily, he's managed to snap it around well enough to not impede the other 3 cars on their way. So I think we just barely call that a safe rejoin. Somebody has left, and I think that is actually Mr. Dillon. He's brought such dishonor. Gabe Casola has found some grass on the way into the turn. And we're lucky that there's not a destroyed Ferrari on the side of the track, because that was looking like he was a homing missile headed straight towards that Huracan, but he manages to keep the car somewhat underneath him and avoid a disaster. He is now understeering, though, on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. The Ferrari is biting back today, clearly. Gabe Casola sneaking up on Jamie Wright, giving some pressure to the Lamborghini, and forces Jamie into a mistake without actually doing anything. There's a certain art form to that, being able to be so close and so planted to the back bumper of your opponent that they get distracted by your presence and forget how to race car. And Dusseldorp is still hounding that Continental, both of whom are catching up to Fidel Fabian, who's running basically dead even with AJ Knickel after the last lap, when Knickel had to slow down to avoid smacking right into Dillon. There's a second car has exited the race. I totally missed Travis taking third away from Torres. No, Van Dusseldorp just got incredibly sideways heading into that hairpin. But the shape of the track meant that Torres could do nothing to capitalize. God, it's dark over here! Jamie seeking an opportunity against Gabe Casola as we are on the final lap. I don't think he's going to find much. As we head through the last turn here at the sprint race at SUGO, AJ is going to continue to do what AJ Knickel does, and he's going to grab the checkered flag here for the sprint round. So that's one half complete. Fidel Fabian and Travis Van Dusseldorp round out the podium. And it's going to be, assuming nothing disastrous happens, it'll be Jake Scarborough with 8th place. Oh, he has a terrible exit, though, or might actually have a drag race to the... Never mind. The runner ran out of gears, so Jake Scarborough is going to take 8th place, which is, I assume, net pole for the main event, if we're going off of the same rules as before. Apparently 3 of the 4 Mercedes pose for a picture or something. So that'll conclude matters here in the sprint round. Brief intermission, and we shall return with the main event race. Some undetermined number of laps. What is that noise? I have no viewers. Nobody cares, just like usual. So this is going to be a 20-lap race. We have one formation lap tacked on, so we can get the grid order arranged how it's supposed to be. So apparently, according to YouTube, I have 0 viewers. I just got a comment. That makes absolute sense. YouTube, thank you. No bias. You got more bias than brake setups on this game. You got 62 bias. Running on a grand total of 3.5 hours of sleep. That's what we're waiting for Gabe, because Lola was not here for reasons unknown. Why did I read that in Thanos' voice? I don't even know who you are. 3.5 hours of sleep. It's a miracle I'm even awake to broadcast this, as we're about to hit the loading screen for, the door open in the bathroom. Any second now, we should be loading onto the track. There we are. So we have yet another full grid ahead of us, I think. No, it's 15 now. Who's missing? Somebody is missing, I don't know who. It's not Gabe and it's not Dylan, they're both on the track. Oh, Donald Stern, apparently. Convenient race feed coming in clutch down there. It takes the guesswork out of it. I think I figured that out eventually. The second that I realized there was only one RS01 on the racetrack. Why did we have a viewer spike when there was no race? There was nothing to look at. Now we're about to get back into racing action and everyone leaves again. What? Am I that boring? I mean, probably. I'm supposed to be an analyst, but there's nobody else here. Rest assured, this is not the starting grid for the race. We have the the first of 21 laps as a formation lap to get the grid as it should be, and I assume that Jake Scarborough will be on the pole since he finished 8th in the sprint round. as Carter gets a drive-through penalty on the formation lap. Look at that race speed. Dang, Jake Scarborough is moving up. What a move! I don't know. Yeah, so I guess this gives me a chance to do an even more in-depth starting grid rundown as we head into the main race. On pole, following his 8th place finish in the sprint race, as I've reiterated 3 separate times for no reason, is Jake Scarborough in the JSR Mercedes. Behind him will be Jamie Wright in... I'm not even sure what team he's on. Is it? It's not Chaos, is it? No, I think that team's long dead. I still have Instagram open, thank God. It's the second Lambo team. It's not Champ Racing, is it ECR? And of course he's not in there! Incomplete standings! Okay, so that Lamborghini team. Third is Gabe Cazzolo in the... Is it CLE Ferrari? It doesn't make any sense either, oh my god. Amateur Hour, no, it's T1A. Where do they get CLE from? Fourth, Matthew Daly in the SLP T44 Mercedes. Then it's Jan Torres in the HRT Bentley. Travis Van Dusendorp on the actual CLE car. Renault. Fidel Fabian, P7, as I think that's Carter being let through to take his drive-through that he got for some dumb reason. He's probably gonna have to start from the pit lane though. Yeah, Fidel Fabian on JSR in the number 30 Mercedes. Jack Nickel, who just won, starts 8th. Connor Hannick in the other not T1A car. I don't remember what other team is Ferrari. My brain is, it's LA7. I'm having a meltdown. Don't mind me. Billy Targi in the Acura for FBR, Ferda Boyce Racing. I don't know how I'm gonna have that name. Logan Cool on Champ Racing's second Lamborghini. Derek Daly on McLaren for Old Dominion Racing. I know that was even here. Hunter Smith reserving for Ethan Fonseca, and Dylan Baum starting last after his premature retirement for Champ Racing. This I'm going to put the speedometer and map on the screen. That would also have told me that Donald disconnected. We're going to have a second formation lap because of, no, we're just green, alright. So we are green from the main event here as there's just argy-bargy heading into 1. And Jan Torres, I think I watched him move like 3 lanes over. He's curb hopped into the door of Matthew Daly. Luckily you don't really take damage from door-to-door contact. It's got to be front, rear, or everywhere else. Well, you might get some side suspension damage. That's supposed to front suspension, Riker? What? Anderson gets ahead of Matthew Daly off of the start, as it is the battle that I didn't expect to see on lap 1, Gabe Cazola versus Jake Scarborough. These trackside cameras are god-awful. I cannot understand what's going on at any given moment. So now I can turn my tab back off and stop having an absolute meltdown because I can't remember any team names. Scarborough has cooked it into the hairpin, giving Gabe Cazola an easy overtake. Jen Torres trying to keep Knickel at bay. Mercedes has the inside lane though, but it's not enough. Torres braves the Project Cars 2 curbing to remain 5th place. Matthew Daly is all sideways heading through the last corner. As Jake Scarborough powers ahead with that Mercedes engine to take the lead back, Cazola wanted a crossover but could not find it. The Ferrari, it's the classic handling versus power. Merc with the power, Ferrari with the poised cornering abilities. And Jamie Wright strikes a balance in his Huracan, sitting right behind these two. They're kind of leaning more towards power in the Lamborghini. You want cornering, that's what the Audi is theoretically for, if you can keep it under control. This time, they both kind of missed the apex. Everyone did, actually. Everyone's basically single file. Obviously, it's a little early in the race to be going completely full tilt, so I can't really blame anybody just yet, but everyone's also close enough to add the element of surprise. Speaking of surprise, DIVEBOMB finds a bit of sand on the outside there. DIVEBOMB's excursion at the back of the field has not paid him any favors, and there is a caution for what I can only assume to be whatever has put those two in the pit lane. I think. I'm not actually sure, to be perfectly honest. I don't exactly have anybody talking in my ear to explain this stuff to me, so I just kind of got to ascertain, which is not easy to do, let me tell you. Where is AJ going? No. Seriously, what the hell is AJ Nickel doing? I don't know. I'm missing critical information here. There's nobody to explain to me. Did he lag out? Or did I lag out? Or... Visible confusion. Oh my god, these trackside cameras, I swear to God. Carter Ritchie has left the session. It appears Van Oostendorp does not have a pit limiter button mapped. I'd love to know what is going on here with Knickel, why he's sitting here. He's pitting. I am so lost. I think that's a pit lane violation. As everybody is coming in to serve their mandatory stop, except for Dylan, who's already pit. So with that, having just effectively bailed him out, he will now return to the race lead. I do believe he's supposed to be in pit limiter right now. Oh, this is a wave around. I'm blind. I'm still very lost as to what the whole AJ situation was under safety car just there. I guess he's returning to where he was in the field before that. I'm just at a loss. Just a general not understanding what's going on. I didn't know what the caution was for. I didn't know where Kaneko was going. I almost kind of forgot how, yellow or lap down cars worked. I don't know where my brain was in any of this. Clearly not in the ARC race. Looking at the map, DIVEBOMB has caught safety car Q, so we should be green basically at any minute here. The second Jake Scarborough puts the foot down, the race will resume here at Sportsland SUGO. He is backing the field up significantly. He is basically waited till the line, but we are once again green here at SUGO. And he will obviously have the advantage into turn 1. He is well clear. I see Logan Cool has made some moves on the restart there. I don't really know exactly how many cars he passed, but he got at least one. Oh my word, that is a huge crash for Torres. I didn't even know. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, even though he was in the middle of the screen. I'm not really sure how that works. As, of course, restart means everybody is bunched up, nose to tail. And Jake Scarborough has not gotten the corner exit that he needs to keep Gabe Cazola away. The Mercedes horsepower can help him to some extent, but it can only do so much. Jamie Wright wanted a lane, but couldn't find much. Instead finds the exit of the track limits. And Gabe Cazola has seized first position from the Mercedes. Now he needs... he only stay there. Easier said than done, obviously, but... the theoretical application, I suppose. Especially easier said than done when AJ Knickel is in the realm. And the Mercedes horsepower of Jake Scarborough is already imposing enough. As Scarborough moves to the outside of Cazola, does he pick his braking point? Just about, but it's not enough. He's not on the inside there. Huge curb hook, and he goes around. He's found the Project Cars curbs, and oh boy, they don't like being bumped. Or used in any way, shape, or form. Knickel got ahead of Travis Van Oostendorp in the chaos. I was trying to combine his first and last name. I was coming up with Tran Oostendorp. I don't know. Do not ask, because I don't have an answer. Bit of a botched braking zone there for Knickel, who's essentially just one overtake away from continuing his vice grip on this championship that he has held basically as long as the championship has been a championship. And that's only going to help matters as Cazola gets a bunch of grass. But I think he's been bailed up by a yellow flag for another unknown cause. As everyone once again slows down. And had we not had this yellow, AJ would have probably seized the lead heading into turn 1 with no issues. Instead, we get to sit back and ponder existence for the next 5 minutes when we do another safety car here. For reasons I do not know. I endeavor to try and let my throat recover for a moment while we are under the safety car period. There's not really a lot to cover. I don't remember Project Cars doing counting car system, but apparently it does. The vehicles that pit are not quite here yet. I can only assume, based on how much longer his pit stop was, that Logan Cool was the cause of the yellow flag, seeing as he is all the way back here when everybody else is caught safety car line. But he's only got one corner to make, so before he's caught up. So I think we'll be green this time around. Cazola's gonna really have to catch AJ sleeping here, or he's probably gonna be overtaken into one. The top speed difference between the two cars is very much. Yep, I'm just gonna leave that there. We're going double file apparently, so it seems. And we are green again from SUGO. Hopefully we actually get some green running this time. See DIVEBOMB going a little bit haywire into one. I don't know how many places he made up with that, but he's done the same thing his teammate did on the previous restart, and then gained at least one spot heading into turn 1. Either they've got some really good timing over there on Champ Racing, or those Huracans have really good low-range acceleration. They're able to make these restarts so much better than other cars. This bomb is over the back of Torres. Neither of these drivers should really be this far down the field under normal circumstances. Matthew Daly takes Connor Hannock around the outside. Maybe. He's run out of grip. So it's not complete just there. Something tells me this right here is going to be the end of Gabe Cazolla's reign. Oh yeah, a bit of understeer for good measure just to seal the deal. And AJ Knickel moves himself into the lead as he is on his crusade for his 4th consecutive GT3 victory in exactly 4 races. Fidel Fabian has absolutely cooked it into turn 1 and forced Van Dusendorp all the way off of the circuit. And the Renault driver might still, he might return the favors when he might do, and quite a bit of elbows out driving from the pair of them, really. But Van Dusendorp defends 3rd. Oh, but some oversteer out of the chicane will benefit Fidel greatly as he heads into the dark beyond over here. And so Fidel will take 3rd right back. Scarborough, who was once in the lead of this race, now finds himself in dead last, following probably another mishap on this restart. Dillon down the inside of Hannock. Hannock can fight back on the inside of the next turn, but not well enough. Into 6th place goes that Lamborghini. I knew it. Travis might have a run on Fidel into 1 here, but the Mercedes power unit, I'm talking like this is F1. The Mercedes car is going to have the better top speed. Travis is going to have to take him in turns. The interval is once again having a meltdown. As, speaking of meltdown, Jen Torres finds a wall in the exact same place he found it before. This is essentially a 4-car train being led by Fidel Fabian. Jamie Wright's going to try for a move on Van Dusendorp. Bit of a lock-up and a bunch of contact. Somehow Van Dusendorp's car doesn't really seem dramatically affected by this contact, but Jamie will sneak on the outside and make the place up nonetheless. DIVEBOMB is probably just looking at this and shaking his head, as this is only really delaying his resurgence through the field, as he has to wait for these two to settle their battle. And are we looking at a 3-wide confrontation heading into 1? Oh, we certainly are. Who's going to come out on top here? It's not going to be Jamie Wright. It would be DIVEBOMB with yet another 3-wide move, because we missed one in the first race, but Van Dusendorp collapsed back. Collapsed back. Bomb will take it back through the next left-hander, and he will be not clear. Van Dusendorp gets a bumper there? That's a huge shot for Jamie Wright. All that instigated by Van Dusendorp literally sticking his nose where it didn't belong. I'm gonna be the first to admit, as oh my word alive, Van Dusendorp is going for a kill streak. Now he gets Connor Hannock on corner exit with some oversteer. So that is 2 victims in one sector. And he still couldn't keep doing bomb at bay, but he's kept himself at bay as he spins in the middle of the track. Some heads-up driving from Van Group does avoid that, as I believe everybody else has done the same. But it is very lonely at the front three. So we have to look to P5 and 6 for our on-track battling, as Matthew Daly is just going to easily outdrag that Acura into one. Can you get it stopped? Just about. Stopped well enough to keep Dilly from attempting to grab 5th place back. As Tarji is in a daily sandwich at the moment, in between two brothers. And in a rock and a hard place as well, looking at the state of that Acura. I am currently being spammed invitations to a league I've not raced in years. Or year. Tarji, with a very late application of brakes, makes up some ground on the Merc. It's all for naught, though, I fear, as the second we get to a straightaway, Matthew is going to be leaving this realm behind, and will instead be leaving Tarji to deal with his brother and the McLaren behind. Oh, we might be doing with something else there, the way that this car is looking. The Acura is uncharacteristically unstable at this moment in time. And we have a caution again. No, we don't. He was just letting off. Never mind. I am an idiot. I just saw a dot moving slowly, and I saw Matthew Daly letting off really early. No, Derek, not Matthew. God, amateur hour. And I thought that was a caution. No, he was just letting off. He's drastically overfueled his McLaren, and it doesn't seem to be hampering his pace all too much. Meanwhile, Fidel Fabian is very quickly catching up to Gabe Pizzolo. A shocking amount of pace from really anybody that's driving a Mercedes today. Jake Scarborough had it at some point. He's just been caught up in misery after misery, and that's kept him from the result that his pace demonstrated early on in this race. Fidel Fabian tries the outside of Cazzola, but he cannot convert much of anything there. Tarji remains in that sandwich as aforementioned. And Hunter Smith, never mind, I read that number wrong, he's not in the train yet. There's some understeer now from the Acura, but Derek Daly is caught completely off guard by it and cannot capitalize. He gets a bumper in there, but that's not really enough to do much. Tarji is struggling just to find where the road is in the terrible lighting in the back half of the circuit. Fidel Fabian is right there on Cazzola's bumper. He about ran into the bumper multiple times. He's gotten close as Cazzola is currently living with some oversteer in that Ferrari. Yeah, there was mid-engine versus front engine right there, if ever I saw it. See what the Mercedes engine yields this time. And it yields a send down the inside in a botched braking zone to end all botched braking zones, and Gabe Cazzola chops Fidel off at the exit of 2. A decent save keeps the oh, that's a lap down, right, because he spun. Keeps the Mercedes on the racetrack, if nothing else. Billy is just not having the greatest time here in Sector 1. A couple laps in a row now, he has just had a meltdown. Seriously, Mother? She knows I'm streaming and she's continuing to talk on the phone over there. I'm just gonna have to talk over it. I don't see any other alternative here. Other than give my mom the stink eye to end all stink eyes when she walks back past me again. But Elva is not close enough into one, and Derek Daly does not have the top speed necessary to challenge the Acura into one. Oh my god, stop inviting me. Long last, Jesus H. Oh my god, Derek Daly is finding some grass over there. As once again, Fidel does not find himself close enough unless he gets desperate, and, well, I think we're a couple laps away from desperation still. These three remain under an umbrella. More understeer from Tarji, though, spelling danger with a capital D. My word! That Acura is being an absolute diva through Sector 1. I certainly wasn't like that when I used to drive it. For me, the Acura was as stable as it got through low-speed turns. Cazzola is able to attack this final turn much better than Fabian, and that is the only thing keeping that Ferrari ahead of him. Huh? I guess Tarji had an excursion. Oh yeah, he's missing his rear wing. Did he get it knocked off by Derek, I wonder? That's caused an absolute paradigm shift that I completely missed because I was busy watching the battle for P2. So now suddenly Matthew Daly has plenty of breathing room as Jan Torres, despite having 2 spins in this race, has recovered his way to run P6 near the end of this one. Fidel always gets very close in Sector 2. Unfortunately, Sector 2 has no good passing zones, because he can never seem to get a good run into the onto the back straightaway. And he can't get much of a better run onto the front straightaway either, the way things have progressed so far. Meanwhile, is Logan Cool running 11th, gets a drive-through for track limits. Usually when the game does that, it's generally Bush. to turn 1 for the final time, and Fidel Fabian cannot do anything. Connor Hannikas out-dragged Derek Daly heading down towards 1. Hunter Smith not too far away, but not too close either. Oh, Cazella finally makes an error. But it's in a place for Fidel Fabian, he cannot capitalize on it. Different philosophies of making the corner coming into play there between Cazella and Fabian. What am I looking at over here? 2 damaged blue flag cars, I think that was what I was looking at there. What the? Are you kidding me, Fidel? What was that? As AJ Kinnickle continues to make an absolute mockery of GT3. It's going to be a battle to the finish line as Fidel Fabian on the outside. Here comes Gabe. That's not Gabe, I mean, here comes Travis out of literal nowhere. The scripting on this 3-wide finish is real. Fidel Fabian takes P2, they crash over the finish line. I think Fidel is second and Travis Newsendorp takes third. Gabe Cazella has been absolutely unceremoniously deposited here on this final lap. Jen Torres with a fine recovery drive to snag 5th position and get out of the way before he gets absolutely shoryukened by somebody on this cooldown lap. Yeah, that seems like about a mood right there. Gabe ran P2 basically from the second AJ took the lead on like lap 6. No. Lap 10 all the way up until 3 corners to go. Not even that, 2 corners. I know how to math. This upside down Ferrari is an image that speaks about a few thousand words. And that. Thank you, Spit. That will. Oh, conclude matters here. Oh, my throat is done. It is angered. The gods of anger. The gods of what? I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, the deficit between Van Nusendorp and Cazella was 1/1000th of a second for that podium finish. Unofficially, anyway. Fidel Fabian P2, AJ Kinnickle with his 4th consecutive GT3 victory. Van Nusendorp P3, Gabe Cazella 4th, Torres 5th, Matthew Daly with 6th, Connor Hannick 7th, Derek Daly 8th. We didn't quite get to have a sibling battle today, as Billy Targi was sort of in the way of that for some time. Hunter Smith 9th in his reserve duties for Ethan Fonseca, who might never be coming back again, let's face it, and Billy Targi rounds out the top 10. It's worth commenting to everybody, though, because top 15 score, and there are only 14 finishers. Dylan Baum, with an absolute nightmare of a week, ends up only 11th. Jamie Wright 12th, Jake Scarborough 13th, and Logan Cool last of the running cars. Not really sure what happened with these 2 blue flag cars on that last lap, but I'm sure I'll look in the Discord and get an answer, but for now, that will do it for me here. I didn't even press the button. Friday will be the next time that I will be heard from, as that is ARC Formula 1 Realistic with something else. Some other Grand Prix, obviously. Oh really, is that how Formula 1 works? Did you know that Formula 1 does races? Until next time, goodbye.